Hello everybody, I'm Jonathan from the Cambridge Swimming Company and welcome to this week's aerobic set where the focus is rotation.
I'm sure that the water won't mind if we rest here for the night and leave before sunrise.
As always, starting with the developing group, dry land warm up first. Make sure you're stretched off and warmed up on dry land before you jump in the water. We will be doing a video to guide you through the warm up very soon. And then jump in and do an easy choice 100 and then a freestyle at 70%. So just up that intensity slightly more for the freestyle 100. If you can swim something other than freestyle for the choice, do. But in this group, if freestyle's all you've got, then just swim 200 of freestyle, just upping the intensity for the last one. Then our drills for this week, and as I said, it's rotation we're looking at. So there's a lot of our favorites of 616, 636, but even when we're doing the other drills, we're focusing on rotation. And what I mean by rotation is, as we're swimming freestyle, we want to be going 45 degrees through the water, 45 degrees through the water as we're taking our strokes. But to achieve this rotation, we don't drive from the shoulders, we drive that from the hips. So it's all led from hips first. And if you kind of have never felt that sensation before, try before you do these drills, just laying in the water, just flat, and just using your hip to drive some rotation. And you'll very quickly feel what I mean. And then you can do these drills. So the drills are, these are all at 70%, starting off with 616, 50, freestyle 50, 636 50, and then fingertip drag for 50. These are fins optional. I would recommend you use fins for these. It makes it a bit easier, but if you haven't got fins, it's perfectly fine to do them without. 616 and 636 for anyone who's new are 6 kicks, 1 stroke, 6 kicks, or 6 kicks, 3 strokes, 6 kicks. And making sure, as I said earlier, 45 degrees to 45 degrees when you're doing the kicks. So you're swimming on your side with one arm out kicking, but you're at a 45 degree angle, not at 180 or 90 degree. So arm out, kick for 6, take a stroke, and then kick for 6 and take a stroke. There's been demo videos going. Anyway, then we're into our main set. It's a relatively simple one because we're carrying on the same sort of drills within our main set swimming. So we're going to do freestyle 200 at 80%, then 50 of 636, another 200 of freestyle, 50 of 636, and the 200 of freestyle. What I want is you swim the 200 of freestyle, and by the end of the 200, you may have slipped into some bad habits. So I've put in the 636 to remind you of the rotation that we're looking to achieve. So in all of these, that's what your focus is am I rotating? And the reason we're doing that is so we can cut through the water easily, because if we swim just straight on, we're getting the full resistance of the water, whereas if we're on a 45 degree angle, we cut through the water much more efficiently. As the speed increases, the effort to go that speed decreases, so it's good. And then, like we did last week, I want to finish off with some sprints. So 425s as fast as you can. So nothing fancy this week, it's just once you've done your aerobic training, just finish off with a bit of blast of speed. So it's not much, it's only 100 in total, but it will get your kind of heart rate really going to finish. And then a choice 100 and an easy freestyle back at 60-70% just to flush out that lactic you've built up with the sprints. So that's a total of 1,800. Stay in the pool afterwards, just do a bit of a stretch off, float about, relax, cool down. If you need to swim a little bit more, do that, so that you're ready to go for our technique and speed sessions that we do for the full members of the CamSwim Club. Well done, and I hope to see you all later in the week. If you want to get involved in our technical and speed sessions, they'll be coming up later in the week on our Patreon channel, which is patreon.com/CamSwim Club. I would love to see you all there. Welcome to the experienced group, and starting off dry land warm up as always. I will be doing a video because there's been a few questions, but essentially you're just trying to get blood pumping through the muscles that you're going to use in the session and stretch them off a bit to start with, and then jump in and do an easy choice 150 and then 100 of freestyle. So just up that intensity a little bit for the freestyle, but for the choice do something other than freestyle, and then straight into our drills. And like I said, we're looking at rotation again this week. just because it's so important to get that rotation right so that you efficiently cut through the water, so you're not wasting energy swimming straight on and building up resistance. So fins are optional. I would recommend you wear them if you have them or if the pool that you're at permits. Starting off with 6-1, 650, then a freestyle 50, 6-3, 650, and then fingertip drag 50. But in all of them, I want you to focus on driving the rotation through your hips. So rather than your shoulders being the point that you're forcing the rotation from, you drive it from the hip. It takes a bit of timing. If you've not felt it before, just lay flat in the water and just try and drive your body rotation with some power through your hips, and then take that into the kicking drills and the freestyle drills. For anyone who's not done 6-1, 6, 6-3, 6 before, they are kicking drills. One arm goes out. You're on a 45-degree angle. You do 6 kicks, take a stroke, arm out, 6 kicks, take a stroke, and 6-3-6 is 6 kicks and 3 strokes. You're always focusing on being 45 degrees, and then your hip is the one that drives. And you need to time your hip drive with the pull so that it, as your body rotation aids the propulsion of your pull. But we kind of covered that in the pull efficiency lesson. So it's every week, it's always everything links up together. So that's 6-1, 6 freestyle, 6-3-6 fingertip drag 3 times. So do all of those. Wear fins if you can. Then into our main set, which is a lot of aerobic swimming, and then refresher 6-3-6 drills. So we're alternating 200 freestyle, 6-3-6, 200 freestyle, 6-3-6, 200 freestyle, 6-3-6, 200 freestyle. And it's because as we get tired and we slip into bad habits, you can forget the reason for the session or the main aim. So that's why I've done 200 blocks, but with 6-3-6 in. So every time you swim the 6-3-6, it reminds you, rotation, hips, drive the rotation. And then when you start the next 200, you've got that fresh in your mind. And then finishing off like last week, we're going to do some sprints, but with these ones are relatively straightforward, just 8-25s sprints, just to really finish off on a high, really push the body. And for those, like I said last week, those who aren't doing the sprint session, this is a tiny bit of that benefit that you're going to get. But I would encourage everyone who can do the other sessions to do them, because you'll get much more benefit from those. And then finish off 100 choice and 100 freestyle, just flush out the system, get yourself cooled down. That's 2,500. That's 2,300. And then your choice of cool down swim, so float around in the pool, stretch off a little bit more. If you need a few more lengths to cool down, do that. And then you're done. So well done everyone, and hopefully I will see you all for the technique and speed sessions later in the week. If you want to get involved in our technical and speed sessions, they'll be coming up later in the week on our Patreon channel, which is patreon.com/CamSwim Club. I would love to see you all there. Welcome to the advanced groups aerobic session. Rotation is what we're focusing on. So as always, dry land warm up, so stretch off. Basically, what you're trying to do is the muscle groups you're going to use, you want to get blood pumping in them and get them stretched so that the muscles themselves know, ooh, something's coming. I'll do a more in-depth video next week. Hopefully I'll have that out. But for now, that's what you're focusing on. So just kind of star jumps, jump around a bit, stretch off your muscles if you can. Or no, stretch off your muscles definitely, so kind of that sort of thing. Get some full rotation in your shoulders. And we'll go into detail more in the next video. Then jump in the pool, easy freestyle 100, easy choice 100, and then a 200 freestyle, just to really kind of, this is where the real warm-up goes, because you're actually doing the exact movements you would when you're swimming. That's why we always do this easy stuff first. And then into our drills, which are working on rotation. And for rotation, what I mean is, you swim freestyle at 45 degrees, you take a stroke, you swap over 45 degrees, you take over, swap over 45 degrees. That's the rotation. But that rotation isn't driven by your shoulders, it's not driven by the stroke. You drive that from your hips. So that's what's dictating your stroke. Stroke rate is the hip drive. And that, like I said before, in last week or the week before, that hip drive will add power to your stroke. So you're adding speed and efficiency through the water that you're going to do anyway, just by adjusting the way you rotate. So if you've not felt you've done that before, just lay in the pool and don't kick, don't pull, just rotate, but drive it with your hips. Just do a couple of those, and then when you set off to do these drills, you can do it. So 6-1, 650, then a freestyle 50, 6-3, 650, and then a fingertip drag 50, but we're in our heads thinking rotation, rotation, rotation the whole time. And we're doing all of those 3 times. So remember, hip drives the rotation. Go through the drills, then into our main set where we're doing aerobic swimming and refreshers as we go of the rotation focus. So we're alternating between, well, we're going 200 freestyle, then 100 of 636. So as you get to the end of that 200, you might get a little bit tired and start slipping out of what we're focusing on. So do a 63600. I'd wear fins, if not for the whole of this, certainly for the kicking hundreds. There's a lot of kicking today. Then then 300 of freestyle, and then 100 636, another 300 of freestyle, 636, and then finishing off with a 200 of freestyle. So you can either swim those freestyle chunks and then put your fins on for the kick drill, or you can just leave fins on for the whole thing. And then, like we did last week, we're going to put some sprints into these sessions because some people don't get to do the sprint sessions or don't have time to do the sprint sessions. I would encourage everyone to do those because you get much more benefit by a dedicated sprint session. But there's a little bit here just to really finish you off. So freestyle 4x25s at max effort, and then 450s at max effort, just to really, really push it at the end. Make sure that last one, in fact, the last kind of couple of 50s, you'll really be feeling it, but just really push, 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 max effort, but always thinking technique, 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 and the technique this week is rotate, rotate, rotate. And then finish off 100 choice stroke, and then 200 real easy freestyle. And then that's 2,900. So do your cool down in the pool. So just float around a bit, stretch off a bit. If you need to swim a couple more lengths of whatever, just to really cool down and relax, do that so that you're ready to go for the technique and speed sessions I mentioned later in the week. Well done, everyone, and I shall see you there. If you want to get involved in our technical and speed sessions, they'll be coming up later in the week on our Patreon channel, which is patreon.com/CamSwim Club. I would love to see you all there.
I'm sure that the water won't mind if we rest here for the night and leave before sunrise.